Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a Coffee County deputy is facing several charges after a workplace violation involving alcohol. And the solving of a recent Murfreesboro assault may require community help.
We have updates involving a Mount Juliet woman that has been missing since 2020 and information on a rescue cat that was recently stolen in Murfreesboro. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Mary Beth Mangrum.
And I'm Kiera Fullington. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
A recent car crash in Mount Juliet has turned fatal. Tennessee Highway Patrol and Mount Juliet Police Department were called out early this morning for a severe car crash. Pedestrian Jose Huerta was hit trying to cross Lebanon Road by a white Ford Escape. According to the Tennessee Highway Patrol, after undergoing emergency aid, Huerta died as a result of his injuries. William Chase was the driver of the car and did not sustain any injuries. He is not facing any charges as of this moment, but we will keep you updated as more information is released.
A 4-year-old boy died as a result of an unintentional gunshot wound. According to Metro Police, a young boy died after shooting himself inside a residence in Antioch. Authorities were contacted on Sunday after the child shot himself. The location of the child's discovery of the pistol was not revealed by the police. This case is being handled by Youth Services. Anyone inside the home might be prosecuted with offenses under Tennessee law. At this point, the investigation, police are unsure whether charges will be made.
A Coffee County deputy faces multiple charges after being arrested while on the job. Deputy Eric Nunley was reported by co-workers after exhibiting behavior that made them believe he was intoxicated. Department staff requested Nunley take a field sobriety test, breath alcohol test, and have blood drawn. Nunley's blood alcohol content was reportedly over the legal limit. Nunley was arrested immediately on Thursday. His charges include DUI and possession of a handgun while under the influence. A blood sample was taken and submitted to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. New information claims that Nunley has been terminated.
The term cat burglary has reached a whole new level in regards to a recent theft case. Detectives need help identifying 2 people who stole a cat. On February 21st, 2 unknown individuals entered a PetSmart on Old Fort Parkway and left with a gray and white adolescent calico cat that was in a cage inside of the adoption area. The cat is a rescue which belongs to Dove Rock Sanctuary, an adoption agency responsible for the placement of the cat. If you recognize these individuals or have any information about this situation, please contact Murfreesboro Police Department.
A $3,000 reward is being offered in an attempt to help locate a long since missing Mount Juliet woman. Devin Nicole Walker has been missing since April 26th of 2020. Walker is a black woman standing 5'3" tall and weighs 125 pounds. She was last seen in a white shirt and green sweatpants. Her family says she walked through the Willoughby Station neighborhood on her way to the store. The Mount Juliet Police Department is adding $2,000 to the family's $1,000 reward for information.
The city of Murfreesboro will be undergoing some staff changes. Earlier this year, City Manager Craig Tyndall appointed Sam Huddleston to serve as an Assistant City Manager for Economic Development in the City Manager's Office. Huddleston is a licensed engineer and a graduate of Tennessee Tech University. Since Huddleston's appointment, 3 other members were appointed to new positions. Greg McKnight, Kevin Jones, and Robert Holtz were all promoted from within as well. All of these men have been involved in the community for some time now.
A local high school brings home a big win to Murfreesboro. Blackman High School won first place in the statewide ProStart Culinary Arts competition. Each student on the team won $22,000 in scholarship money for a total of $88,000. They also secured a spot in the upcoming national competition that will be held in Washington, D.C. But this was not the school's only win. Blackman also won third place in the statewide ProStart Hotel Restaurant Management competition. 3 students on that team each won $11,000 in scholarship money.
Patterson Park in Murfreesboro held their annual indoor triathlon on Saturday, February 25th. The indoor triathlon had a 500-meter swim, 12 miles on the stationary bikes, and 24 laps on the indoor track. There were 4 different legs of the event, each leg with 4 participants. The Patterson Park Indoor Triathlon started in 2008, but the event went on a hiatus for about 9 years. Recreation programmer Roger Brady wanted to bring the event back to life. In 2021, Roger pitched the idea of bringing the event back to life. Here is why Roger Brady wanted to revive the indoor triathlon.
A lot of the athletes that I have talked to in the running community, every person I run into is like, I wish we would have a triathlon in this area again other than the ones they have in the spring or in the fall.
And now Ryan Martinelich will join us with our first look at weather. Ryan, are we expecting any more rain this week?
Thanks, Mary Beth. And yeah, we did wake up to some mid-morning showers that wrapped up in the afternoon, but they won't really affect us anymore. Temperatures stayed in a mild range despite the rain. Temps for today stayed around the high 60s to low 70s, with Smithville and Manchester reaching a high of 67, McMinnville and Woodbury at 68, and Shelbyville reaching 69 degrees. Murfreesboro and Mount Juliet eclipsed the 70-degree threshold, with Murfreesboro getting up to 72 and Mount Juliet reaching 73. I'll have tonight's forecast a little later, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, we have some entertainment news coming from our very own Izzy Gutierrez, as well as a more in-depth look at the weather and all the sports you need. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Murfreesboro's entertainment industry is growing fast. MTN reporter Izzy Gutierrez joins us once again with a segment on lifestyle and entertainment.
Hello everyone, my name is Izzy and welcome back to MTN Lifestyle and Entertainment. As you can tell, I'm not in the studio right now. I'm actually at House 3 on Greek Row with Sierra,
Hi, I'm Sierra.
And she is an MTSU student and sorority sister, but also a model. Take a look.
I was always really like just unconfident with like my face and the way that I looked. I always was really interested in modeling from the time that I was little. I always like watched America's Next Top Model with my mom and stuff, but I was never really able to do it or thought that I could do it.
Where do you want me to look? Do you want me to look there?
This is Sierra Anderson, a full-time MTSU sophomore studying fashion merchandising and model. This past year, Sierra had one of her biggest shoots.
My freshman year of college, I started doing little things like small photo shoots, and then I got invited to do Strike magazine. They're all like young photographers, stylists, designers. Everybody contributes to this larger project. It's a really great stepping stone for young creatives and artists. Growing up, I was always super like unconfident as a child, and I got really tall. I'm 5'10", so I was always really unconfident with my height. And then as I got older, I felt more confident in myself, and I realized like, hey, my height is actually something that makes me unique and makes me stand out and makes me special.
This year, Sierra got signed to a modeling agency, and here is some of her shots.
No matter how you look, you always are like someone's dream body type. You are so beautiful to someone else, even if you don't realize it yourself.
Now, thank you so much, Sierra, for doing this with me. Tell me about some events coming up in the future for you.
Thank you so much. I'm actually going to be in the TXMD runway show towards the end of the semester, so make sure to buy your tickets and stay tuned for that.
Thank you. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Izzy. I can't wait to hear more stories in the future.
A newly proposed bill could help save lives for those on college campuses. A newly proposed bill in Tennessee would require all college identification cards to have a suicide prevention number on them. Sponsored by Senator Heidi Campbell, the bill would have all universities and colleges across the state pick a suicide prevention hotline and have it put on all ID cards. The requirements will call for a social media handle and text numbers as well. The bill is currently on the Senate calendar for February 27th and currently is uncontested.
On Wednesday, February 22nd, at World Outreach Church located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 2 actors from the hit Christian television show, The Chosen, came by to meet and greet fans. Coming all the way from Utah and Texas, Luke Dinion and Noah James, who played Judas and Andrew, visited to take photos and shake hands with thousands of fans. Fans were able to watch a screening of the 3rd episode of Season 3 after meeting the 2 actors. The hit television show has over 400 million views, making it the most popular piece of Christian entertainment, with it being fully funded by only donations.
A famous 70s rock band is heading to the Franklin Amphitheater. The Doobie Brothers are bringing their 50th anniversary tour to First Bank Amphitheater. Showtime is Thursday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m. The show will bring the band together for the first time in 25 years, and tickets go on sale March 3rd at 10 a.m. Pre-sale begins on March 2nd with the code OPENER. Don't miss this exciting addition to First Bank Amphitheater's fall lineup.
MTSU School of Music is welcoming a pianist to perform in the Wright School of Music. The show being put on is called Prayers for a Feverish Planet, a collection of music inspired by climate change. Pianist Anne Duhamel will be performing. Duhamel is an associate professor of music at the University of Minnesota-Morris. She has performed in 16 different countries. The performance will begin at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 28th in Hinton Hill inside of the Wright Music Building. The event is free and open to the public, and the school hopes to see everyone there.
And now Ryan is back with tonight's forecast. Ryan, what can we expect?
Thanks, Mary Beth. Tonight's temperatures won't dip down too far, even despite the high winds expected to continue on for the evening and into the night. Lows for the Middle Tennessee area will be consistent as they will be staying in the mid-50s range, so keep that jacket around when the sun goes down. Shelbyville's low will get down to 54 tonight, with Manchester and Mount Juliet following with 55. Woodbury and Smithville, along with McVinville, will get down to 56 degrees, and Murfreesboro will only drop down to a nice 57 degrees. After the break, I'll have you a full 5-day forecast for Murfreesboro. Guys, back to you.
Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Ryan has a 5-day forecast waiting for us, and Dylan Simmons is in the MTN Sports Den with a full sports report. Stay with us.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's send it back over to Ryan, who has our 5-day forecast for us. Ryan, do we get a break from the rain this week?
Short answer, no. Anyway, like I mentioned earlier today, we saw Murfreesboro reach a high of 72 after the rain showers, and we will see tonight get down to a mild 57 degrees. Tomorrow will be much better weather as the sun will be shining down on us and the blistery wind will die down to a calm breeze. Temperatures will be in the low 70s with the potential to get up to 73, while the low will be down to a nice 55 degrees. Wednesday, we will have the same opportunity to experience much of that beautiful weather. The sun will be out and about, bringing temperatures up to the mid-70s with the high reaching 76 and a low getting down to a cool 56. With that breeze looking to increase in speeds of 10 to 20 miles per hour with the impending showers we are expecting on Thursday. So you'll want to make sure you keep your umbrella handy. With that incoming rain on Thursday, look for temperatures to drop down to the 60s with the day's high only at 66, with the precipitation coming down in the late afternoon to early evening. However, the low will stay in the 50s again at 56. Friday is much of the same except for temperatures dropping even more. Thursday's rain will continue on into Friday afternoon before it lets up, where the high will only get to 61 with 15 to 20 miles per hour winds expected. Temperatures will get down to the low to mid 40s Friday evening for what looks to be something of a cool weekend. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. When we come back, we'll hear from Dylan Simmons over in the MTN Sports Den. He'll give us a recap on all things Blue Raiders basketball and more. We'll be back after the break.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
The final road stop for women's basketball ended in triumph on Saturday. The number 24 Lady Raiders faced an uphill battle in Ruston, Louisiana against the Lady Texters. Both teams kept the game tight throughout, with no team able to get a clear advantage, at least at first. MTSU eventually showed why they have the winning formula like Mr. Krabs as they pulled away, thanks to large part to Snia Malashka. She scored an emphatic shot with just 3 seconds remaining and then rejected a Texter shot to clinch a 61-59 Raider win. The Raiders have officially clinched the CUSA regular season championship and now look to carry that momentum into March. They will end the regular season in the Glass House with 2 games this week, starting with North Texas Thursday night at 6 p.m. Men's basketball shattered Louisiana Tech in the Glass House on Saturday. The Raiders hosted the Bulldogs in their final home game of the regular season and were quick to pounce. It started with a 19-2 run in the first half that put the game quickly out of reach. The lead was stretched like Plastic Man as many as 29 points were scored before all was said and done. The Raiders leaned on strong performances from the likes of Elias King as he managed a team-leading 13 points and his second career double-double. With this win, Middle Tennessee has officially clinched a first-round bye in the CUSA tournament. They will close out their season Thursday night on the road against North Texas. Men's tennis had a whirlwind weekend in the 2023 Blue-Gray Cup tournament. The Raiders began the weekend with a delayed game against the Tulane Green Wave that saw them squeak out a 4-3 win. They followed that up with a big game against number 36 Auburn that ended in disappointment as the Raiders were swept for the first time this season in a 4-0 loss. MT was not deterred, however, as they rallied back against number 41 Oklahoma by handing them a sweep of their own. While they could not win a second straight title, the Raiders still showed their talents and finished third in the tournament overall. Middle Tennessee will keep their grand tour going as they rematch Tulane on Saturday at 1 p.m. The next home game at the Cathedral of Tennis will be March 17th against Dartmouth. The Shining Diamond of Murfreesboro bore witness to brilliant baseball this past weekend. Middle Tennessee baseball matched up with the St. Bonaventure Bonnies for the first time ever, and in the first home series of the season for the Raiders. It started on Friday with electrifying pitching from Jaden Ham, who put Carolina Reaper heat on his throws and led MT to a 16-3 win. That momentum would continue as the Raiders would add a 6-2 win on Friday night and a 17-1 walloping on Saturday. The final game proved a bit more of a challenge, but clutch hitting late allowed Middle to pull away for a 6-3 victory to clinch the series sweep. Home runs were scored in bunches as Gabe Jennings and DJ Wright hit a home run apiece, and Eston Snyder managed 2 homers on the weekend. Next up for the Raiders is the Belmont Bruins, who they host on Tuesday at 3 p.m. You can catch this and all baseball home games on ESPN+. Women's tennis had a road trip as dramatic as the Vacation movie story over the weekend. It started on Friday against the Butler Bruins as the Raiders found themselves in another nail-biter. They were able to seal a 4-3 victory thanks to a late comeback from the dominant Noel Morrow. There was no rest for the weary, though, as the Raiders faced their toughest challenge to date against number 13 Vanderbilt. The hot streak would finally come to an end as they were dealt a 4-0 loss to the Commodores, which ended an 8-win stretch. This comes after the Raiders had an 0-2 start to the season and managed to come back in grand fashion. Despite the loss, MT still has a lot to be proud of, as they currently sport an 8-3 record. Their midterm exam for the season will be Friday on the road against Elon at 1 p.m. The next home game at Adams Tennis Complex will be March 31st against Western Kentucky. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how well women's tennis will perform throughout the season, and if they can make a run at this year's CUSA Championship. Mary Beth, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Today we're celebrating some friends that are only found in the frozen wilds of the Arctic. It's International Polar Bear Day. These aquatic mammals can weigh as much as 10 average men, and scientists can actually extract DNA from their big footprints. Polar bears spend most of their life in or around the water, which may sound nice until you consider the temperature.
Polar bears are in fact at the very top of their food chain, a true apex predator, and they have adapted to live in one of the harshest environments on the planet, and yet they're classified as a vulnerable species. Take this day to appreciate the wild side of nature, and maybe you'll find out what makes these bears so polarizing. Thank you for joining us tonight on Middle Tennessee News. I'm Kira Fullington, joined by Mary Beth Mangrum, Dylan Simmons, and Ryan Martinelich. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure to follow us on all of our social media sites on Facebook/Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you next time on Wednesday, March 1st for our next show.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.